is it a good time to buy? Because I know that the media is constantly trying to pin, is it good or bad? Or, just really paint it as black and white. And if you spent the holidays with family, who knows, maybe this came up at your kitchen table. Somebody had to weigh in. Everyone likes to have an opinion on the housing market and think that they're an economist, right? But from my perspective, I really like to keep things simple and to the point, especially because I work with first-time home buyers. So when you hear things about like fear and are things good or are they bad, and the people that got burned in the crash, a lot of that is geared more towards investors, people that are trying to make a quick buck, either flipping homes or people that have homes that they need to sell and then are going to be buying again. But for the majority of people on this call, if not everybody, is a first-time home buyer. So looking at it from that perspective, I have this graph on the screen. Now, this is nationwide, but I love what it represents. It represents the median sales price of houses in the United States starting at, let's see, 1950 or so, up until 2020. And now the housing market is what it is. It's a market, right? So just like any financial market, there's going to be little peaks and valleys. But when you really zoom out and look at this graph of what has happened since essentially, even before a lot of us were born, 1950 to now, you can see that buying a home is an appreciating asset over time. And this just, when I saw this graph, at the beginning of my real estate career, I felt really confident. I'm like, wow, okay, what I am telling people they should invest in real estate, this makes sense. Look at this graph. It just is in an upward trajectory. And even, we talk about the worst case scenario. Everyone wants to talk about the worst case housing crash. Those that were hurt during that time, you can kind of see this little bit thicker of a gray column going through right before 2010. This is that massive, awful, terrible housing crash that happened. And while, yes, investors and things like that got burned, people that were buying their home for their primary investment, as long as they held on to that home for about 5 or so years, that's when things came right back up to the amount that they bought it for, the value that they bought it for. And if you bought a home in 2008 and you still own it today, you are all the way to the right of the screen up at the top, right? And so I just wanted to give a zoomed out version of that because it really can get, oh my gosh, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? A lot of fear mongering going on, but pointing at this graph, you can see that buying a home when you're a first time home buyer, it's going to appreciate over time. And just for fun, I put in a picture of times that the headlines were even wrong about the housing market. So, at the end of the day, truly none of us know exactly what's going to happen. But historically speaking, looking at this chart, I feel like can give you the confidence when you are buying your first home that this is a good decision.